I'm Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of this newsletter is going to be rebuilding attraction, romance, love, and intimacy. Well, I've got an email here from a viewer who's struggling in his relationship with his wife, and he recently found out about my work, and he's starting to apply some of the things that I teach, and obviously it's working for him. But before we get into his email, I got a quote I'd like to share with you. And it says, if your wife or girlfriend has lost her attraction to you and her interest in sex, it is because she has shut down to you emotionally. As a man, it is your job to open her up to feel safe and comfortable again by being the leader, courting her properly, and most importantly, asking high-quality questions that make her feel like you really love and care about who she is as a woman so that she feels like you understand her. Only then will you create the conditions where she will want to open back up to receive you physically. Until she is open again, shut up, ask questions, and be a great listener. Well, let's get into his email. He says, hey Coach, thank you for your passion and awesome and easy to understand book. Thank you. It is my purpose. It's my mission in life. He says, I've been involved in the men's movement for about 8 years. I have studied other sources and have been aware of the principles you teach, but met with only partial success. I never quite owned the principles until it was presented in the format of your book. It's the best $30 I've ever spent. Obviously, he bought the paperback version. He says, I'm so grateful to have you in my corner. The most important message I received was, if we are in a relationship, we are there to give. Yeah, that's the whole purpose of relationships. You go there to give. Not only your intimate relationships, but your friendships, and that includes the people that you work for if you happen to be working for somebody else. And obviously, if you're an employer, your goal is to give to your clients, to your customers, is to add value to their lives. He says this is the true masculine. If we as men are truly present and the rock for our women, the rewards will be everlasting without expectation. It's key to not have any expectation. In other words, to not be attached to the results. That's the whole purpose of giving. You're giving without any kind of strings attached. Obviously, you have a desired result that you want, but either way, you're not diminished when your woman doesn't give back to you in the way that you expect. Because if you live your life from that perspective, meaning you expect things to happen in a certain way, you're pretty much, everybody's going to disappoint you. Your friends are going to disappoint you. Your families are going to disappoint you. Your intimate relationships, the women that you're in intimate relationships with, they're going to disappoint you because your expectations aren't met. But when you give, because that's who you are, it's an actual gift from your heart, then you open yourself up to receive whatever comes back. It's like what Wayne Dyer talks about. It's the concept of receptivity. It means being receptive to whatever shows up, whatever comes back to you, and being grateful for either one. That includes being grateful for your challenges and your struggles and the obstacles that you experience in life, because at the end of the day, that's what actually shapes who you become as a human being. He says the antithesis of this is when the man has a case of she's complaining that she is doing this or that, or that the man is angry because he's not getting, always being pissed off and worried about getting instead of giving. He says that was my problem. I was focusing on her and not me. I was not truly owning my part and blaming her, getting pissed off because I was not getting. He says it was always about me not getting something. In other words, what's going on is your expectations were not being met, and therefore you got upset. And whenever you're angry about anything in life, it's because you are fearful. So whenever you feel yourself getting angry or pissed off at any particular situation, not only your intimate relationships, but anything in general, you got to think about it and ask yourself, your self-talk, where are my expectations not being met? What do I feel that I'm not receiving that I felt I should be receiving? And how can I transcend my expectations or my attachment to a result in order to get back to a place of accepting or receptivity, receiving whatever shows up, good or bad? He says, I was acting like such a little bitch or like a kid getting mad at mommy. He says, so thank you for summarizing 8 years of study into 228 pages. Well, yeah, this guy obviously read the first edition. The paperback version of the second edition is going to probably take another 90 to 120 days to filter down through all the channels. So if you want to get the latest up-to-date version, you can read the one on my website or download the Amazon Kindle version. He says, it's truly a man's book that I could immediately implement, and I am passionate about being a man the way God intended us to be. He says, not a snag, sensitive, new age guy. I haven't heard that one before. Snag stands for sensitive, new age guy. The nice guy, typically, which never gets anywhere with women. He says, this is my story and what I need help with. I've been married for 5 years and have been with my wife for 11 years. We have 2 kids, and I'm a police officer. I'm a masculine man with strength, but in law enforcement, we are taught to control situations on the job for survival, and I unknowingly, with some leftover childhood issues, carried that into my personal life. And it's interesting, like when you study PTSD and people that go through it, usually what really is going on there, because there's lots of guys that come back from war in really shitty, horrible, awful situations, and they're able to get through it no problem. Obviously, they struggle with it at times, but for the most part, they're able to get through it. And it's like one of my buddies who was in Vietnam, he just said, you know, it's like anything, you just learn to deal with it in life and learn to let the shit kind of roll off of you. But guys that really struggle with PTSD, what usually happens is so many things happen that are bad in combat or warfare, and because they never really had a strong model of the world, it like rocks their model of the world and what they perceive as being right and wrong and what should have or shouldn't have happened. And that's what really scrambles our marbles, so to speak. He says, initially my wife mistook my controlling nature for strength. Last October she shut down, sex stopped, and she said sex without love is violence. She referred to the way we were not making love, and he puts in parentheses, just selfish sex on my part, and referred to my controlling habits. It's interesting that you say that, because one of my girlfriends that I used to have, and it was one of the girls I wrote about in my book, we were having sex one time. It was like kind of was afterwards we were having dinner or something like that, and she basically said something to the fact that she's like, you don't look at me the same way you used to look at me. You don't have the same kind of passion or the twinkle in your eye that you used to have when I would walk into a room. And she says, when we have sex, I don't want it to just be about sex where it's just a release for you, because at that point we kind of got into a situation where we were kind of only having sex like once a week, whereas when we first got together we were fucking like 4 or 5 times a day. I just couldn't get enough of this girl, and she could see that. It's like slowly over time we kind of drifted apart. It was like what it became, like once a week it was like a release. And she was telling me that it's like whenever I come over, it's like I know exactly what's going to happen. And she, in her own loving way, was basically saying, hey, you know, things are becoming boring, they're becoming predictable. And I was basically making her feel like a sex object, like I was just using her for my release. And then after we had sex, it's kind of like, you know, I wanted to watch TV or I wanted to go and do whatever the hell it is that I was doing. So that's why it's so important to have sensory acuity or develop your sensory acuity and always listen to what your woman is saying, because she's always reflecting back to you how you're making her feel. It's just that most guys, we don't pay attention to it until it becomes a real issue. He says, by the grace of God and my wife's patience, our marriage has survived the last 10 months. I came across your domain on YouTube by accident. There are no such things as accidents, my friend. Everything happens for a reason in life. He says, and I finished your book 2 days ago. I immediately implemented your listening techniques, and within 24 hours, he puts this all in big capital letters, she has already told me she loves me and I am courting her again. He says, unbelievable. This is no BS. Like, I know. I was like, this stuff works. It's like, truth is truth. That's why I give all this stuff away for free. That's why I let people read my book for free on my website. That's why I give all my best stuff away for free in my videos and my articles. Because you can see in your own life that this shit works. And to me, that's the best kind of sales. It's like you let the work speak for itself. He says, she can't help but come back to the true masculine I knew and I had inside of me. Yeah, it's what we already are inside. It's just a matter of demonstrating what we know. He says, I've learned my lesson. I feel so much better about myself. I realized I wasn't truly present and did not care in my heart about who she was as a person. This is my dilemma. I know I need to be patient. There has been no lovemaking for 10 months. She is unaffectionate, but there has been a definite shift in her attitude towards me. She has opened up to me and is pursuing me. I can tell that she is excited to talk to me and is making it easier to court her. Yeah, as her attraction level starts to grow for you again. I mean, think about it. Women are physically designed to receive a man. And now you're opening her up. You're making her feel loved because you're actually communicating to her and asking her questions. And like the best thing that you can do is like when you come home, hey baby, how was your day? Tell me about your day. Obviously you got kids, and you got a family with her, and just let her talk. And when she gets to a point where she does this, she goes, oh, I'm so glad we talked. I feel so much better. Honey, I love you. When she says that, that means I'm ready to receive you. And that's when you say, great, you need to get your cute little ass over here and kiss me, baby. I miss your beautiful, sexy lips. And just look at her. Give her that fucking boyish smirk, just like I'm doing right now, and she'll walk right over and kiss you. And then you start making out. Making out leads to heavy petting. That's when you make the move. You've opened her up emotionally. She's felt your strength. You made her actually feel like a human being again. You've actually made her feel like, wow, he really loves me. He understands me because you listened to her. But until she gets to that point where she's like, oh, I feel so much better. I'm so glad we talked. And you do that by just sitting there and going, what else, honey? Tell me more. Don't leave anything out. What else? And every 4 or 5 minutes, you repeat a little bit of what she said to you back to her. And that way she knows that you were actually paying attention to what she said. I did a YouTube video, I don't know, a year or two ago called How to Communicate with Women Effectively. Plus, I go into extensive detail on this topic in my book. And if you just do that, when she opens back up to you, that's when you make your move physically and you make love to her, because now she's open to receive you. And then it's more intimate. You take your time to foreplay with her. You take the time to kiss her, to make out with her, because now she feels open to receive you. And you've been with this woman long enough, 10 years you've been with her. So you know what it's like to make love to her. It's just a matter of making the effort. And because remember, when women get to the point where like they're totally turned on, that's when they just let go. They drop all resistance to you and they open up to receive you completely. He says, my solution is to start all over with no expectations. The lack of affection hurts, but it has hurt less since I have seen the light and mask of my hurt, especially in public around other couples where there is obvious love and affection between them. Any suggestions? Well, one of the things that you don't want to do is you don't want to fall into the, flip to the complete extreme opposite where you're now waiting for her to initiate sex and contact. It's like that's why when you're talking to her and you get it, it may take you a half hour, it may take you an hour. It's like the time that it gets her to that place will actually get closer and closer. It goes shorter and shorter to the place where she goes, oh, I feel so much better, baby. I'm so glad we talked. I love you. You're such an amazing husband. That's when you say, great, bring your sexy little ass over here and kiss me. I miss you. I miss your delicious lips. And you kiss her and you start making out with her. Maybe you make dinner. You say, let's make dinner together. And like the whole time when you're playing dinner together, you spank her, you pinch her in the butt, and you're just playful with her. And you tease her playfully. You say things that are like, have I ever told you how fucking sexy you are? Have I ever told you what a great mother you are? Because feminine energy grows through praise. That's the appropriate moment to build her up. And that's just like, you're so sweet. And that's when you just make the move. And you start making out. And you just pick her up, put the stove on, turn the stove off and just carry her into the bedroom and make love to her. Go down on her. Take your time. And enjoy her body. Don't just go right for penetrating her and have wham bam thank you ma'am sex. Is take your time. Maybe you take all of her clothes off and you put some towels down in the bed, you light some candles, and you take some massage oil out and you give her like a 45-minute massage, like like a Swedish body massage, where like you take all your clothes off and for like 45 minutes you're just massaging her body and you're making her feel really good. Then if she's laying down on her stomach and you're completely naked and your dick's so hard you could cut diamonds with it, and you lay down on top of her, then you penetrate her that way. That's all you have to do. So if you'd like to get my help personally, go to my website, click the products tab at the top of your screen, and follow the instructions for a paid phone session. I'll talk to you soon.